Hi everyone, this is Don Zico again after I guess a very long absence. Anyway, let me try and explain what I'm trying to do here. I went to Brawler Bash, a great 2-day grand tournament in Durham, North Carolina, a couple weeks back, and it was a really great event. I was I'm not so happy with how well I did, but it was a great event, and I did have a really great time. But what I thought was really cool about it was that there were three different people, by my count, that do YouTube battle reports that went there and did reports of their experience, their games over the weekend. And I just thought that was really neat, especially since they were all kind of aware that they were all down there and playing against each other. And so I thought that I wanted to get back into this, and the way to do that would be to go to the Southern Assault Grand Tournament. It's going to be in Charlotte in June, run by Once Bitten on YouTube, and make battle reports of my games there. So that's the plan. But there's a hitch. See, Southern Assault is a comp tournament, and it uses the Swiss comp system, where you run this calculation on your army, and it spits out a number, and the number is used to give you a comp score at the tournament. And so you can run a really hard list, but if you do, you won't get any bonus points for comp. And you can choose to run a really soft list and hope that you get enough bonus points that it overcomes however many games you're going to lose because you have a weak list. The trouble is, it's possible to get a negative score in the Swiss comp calculation, and if you do that, your army is not allowed at Southern Assault. And so I took my regular 2,500 point tournament list and I ran it through this calculation, and I found that it had a negative score. So I couldn't take that list. And rather than trying to sort of fiddle with it just enough to get a positive comp score, I decided that what I wanted to do instead was to try and use a bunch of models that I haven't used in a long time and create a not terribly hard list that would still be a lot of fun to play, and to go out there and actually get some points for comp, and and just see, maybe this will work, maybe it won't. The point is to try a different kind of a list, to play games that run a little bit differently than what I'm used to, and if I win, that's great, but it's not exactly the point of the weekend. So anyway, what I'm trying to do here is I've got two versions of this list that I arrived at, and I'm going to go through what the lists are, and how I came up with them and why. And I'm going to open it up to anybody that's watching here and ask which of the two lists you think I should run. So let's go through the lists. Anyway, so the thing about the Swiss comp system is that, in a nutshell, with Dark Elves, the Swiss comp system penalizes you for taking a lot of magic. It penalizes you for taking Hydras. It penalizes you for taking the Pendant of Caleth, and it penalizes you for taking Shades. Those are the big things that it doesn't like. So I'll start off with, in this list, what's not in it, and that is there's no level 4 mage. I have a level 1 mage with a Dispel Scroll and the Metal Magic, and that's it. There's no Hydra. There's no Pendant of Caleth on anyone. There are no Shades. Instead, basically, I'm trying to run a lot of stuff that I used to run back in 7th edition that I haven't had a chance to, that is a lot of fun. So we'll start off with the big thing about this list. It has a dragon. This is my Lord on a dragon, and he has, let's see, he actually doesn't have a ward save of any kind. He's got an Ogre Blade for +2 strength. He's got a Dawnstone and a Cloak of Haggrave, which means that shooting against him will be at half strength. So cannonballs are going to have trouble because they're only going to be strength 5. So that's only -2 to his armor save, and then he's going to get to re-roll failed armor save. So when the cannon hits the dragon, it'll only wound on a 5-up, and the dragon will then get a 5-up armor save against it. And when the cannonball hits the rider, it'll wound on a 2 still, but he'll have a re-rollable, after the strength modifier, a re-rollable 3-up armor save. So I'm thinking that artillery is going to just kind of bounce right off this guy. And hopefully that'll allow him to get into close combat and just have a breath weapon and a whole bunch of strength 6 attacks. And hopefully that'll be fun. I mean, it's obviously not the most competitive choice, but I think this might be a way to make it work. Now, The other big thing is this unit of Cold One Knights, and this is 13 Cold One Knights with full command and the banner of Hag Grave, which makes them always strikes first. And this unit is here just because I think Cold One Knights are awesome. I mean, they're one of the reasons, they're a big part of why I started playing Dark Elves in the first place, way back when I started playing Dark Elves. And I love the plastic models that they have right now, where they're riding these, velociraptors, and they're just cool. And so this is a unit of basically almost every Cold One Knight I own. And in them, I've got a hero with my battle standard that has the Hydra banner. So if I get powered up by the Cauldron and by the Hydra banner on the charge, the Cold One Knights in the front rank are hitting 3 times each at Strength 6, Weapon Skill 5, Initiative 6 with Always Strikes First, which is just crazy how much firepower that is. And I mean, there are a lot of ways this unit can be dealt with. There are a lot of things that can kill it before they go in. But if I get a successful charge off with these guys, man, it's going to be awesome. So, and then supporting that, I've got 2 units of Dark Riders, both to give me some shooting support and to help me deal with chaff and to redirect other things that are trying to charge me and that sort of thing. So hopefully the Dark Riders will just allow the Cold One Knights to get the charge that they need to get. So the rest of the list is less exciting. I've got my crossbows just to have some shooting. I've got my 20 Black Guard because they're one of my few infantry units that can kill things even if I don't have much in the way of support from from Shadow Magic or from the Cauldron or whatever. And then I've got a unit of 30 Spearmen with full command, and their job is to potentially give my sorceress some place to hide, and B, to be steadfast, so that they can either hold up enemy units that I'm going to have trouble fighting, or they can try and fight whatever it is my dragon is fighting, so that the enemy unit won't be steadfast and I'll be able to break them. So that's the first list, and the Swisscom system. It's you get a score between 0 and 20, and this list gets a 9. So it's average. It would be a better comp score than a lot of armies, but a worse comp score than a lot of armies in all likelihood. So that's option 1. Now option 2 is just a little bit different. Option 2 basically does 2 changes. First, it doesn't have the battle standard bearer with the Hydra banner. Instead, the Cauldron of Blood is the battle standard bearer. And that frees up, the reason I did that in this alternate list is, first, it frees up some points, so I can take a few more units, a few more guys in my crossbowman unit. I can take 1 more Cold One Knight in the big block, and I can take a Cold One Chariot. And so first, the Chariot combined with the Warriors, I think is a good combo because the Warriors can break steadfast and the Chariot can provide some combat res. So there are a lot of units where the Warriors on their own could just maybe hold them up. But the Warriors in the Chariot, they can do kind of the 1-2 punch and break it. The other reason is that the way the comp worked out. I get a slightly better comp score here. So this list will have a comp score of 10 instead of 9. So that's plus 1 point, which I think is roughly equivalent of winning all of my games by maybe a couple hundred points larger margin. So that's option 2.